Okay, I'm back. Sorry, Jason was calling me to tell me that he got his hair cut. So, okay, this is an ARC, and so it has a paperback version of the book that the publisher creates these to send them out to reviewers. Now this is a kind of an interesting kind of throwback to the past, because ARCs really existed back when before there were ebooks, before there was this kind of immediacy of being able to send out electronic files or PDFs of books. So it was very important. Before that, when publishing it always took a long time to get something into print, and so it was a necessity for publishers to create these early versions of the book to send to reviewers, so that the reviews would come out in advance or even simultaneously with the release of a book. I think that as the world continues to change, that we're going to be seeing less of this kind of thing. It's kind of interesting thing. They have information. It says please do not quote for publication without checking against the finished book. So it's not the final proofread version of the book. They also include a picture of the cover art, some kind of information about ISBNs, things, which is the number that the book is given, so that people can find it more easily if they're looking via number instead of title and author, which is a little weird. They have just kind of key points about how many millions of books that I have in print, how many different languages that they're translated into, just kind of interesting things. So if a reviewer is going to be writing something about the book, they have a little bit of information. It'd be nice if they kept that information up to date. So we try to get that to happen. A lot of times I'll open it up and I'll go, okay, that's wrong. So this is what an ARC looks like, and so it's definitely kind of old school, because it was, again, sent to reviewers in advance. Nowadays, I think that they use them to. There's a program that I recently found out about from a reader called Amazon Vine, where certain Amazon people who review a lot get into that program, and they get sent a copy of an ARC too. But it's a useful thing to be able to. My publisher always make sure that I get sent a couple dozen copies of this, so that I can send it out to people that I want to have make sure that they get it in advance too. So that's really what it's all about. It has to do with wanting to get reviews out there in advance of the actual release of the book. And now, the way that the publishing schedule works out is that these tend to come to us months before the book comes out, 3-4 months before the book is actually published. And here it is. Okay, so it's March. Well, it's not even March yet, right? It's February 20. I don't even know what date it is today. It's Sunday. I know that. Yes. And most recently, just before the week ended, I received 2 copies of hot off the press. Of what the book actually looks like. So you can tell that if the publisher were to wait to have these in hand and then send it out for reviews, we're down to the wire. The Publishers Weekly has already reviewed Born to Darkness, gave it a starred review, which is awesome. Booklist, Library Journal, all these print publications. And the world is changing pretty fast. I suspect that the days of the ARC are kind of numbered. They're very heavy. They're made. They're expensive for the publisher to make. So I suspect that, like I said, that you're not going to be seeing too many of these around much longer. So that is what an ARC is and does, Gale, and that's why the publishers put them out. And thank you for asking that question.